And we begin in Washington, D.C., where recently a group of Georgia delegates, along with nearly 500 American Farm Bureau members from across the country, gathered together for the second annual American Farm Bureau Advocacy Conference. As Ray DeLessio tells us, the primary goal of this conference is to help leaders become better advocates for agriculture.
The people you see here are the ones who make up the American Farm Bureau's Issue Advisory Committee. Their task, to help develop policy and to make recommendations to the organization and its board of directors. At this year's Advocacy Conference, each committee member was brought up to speed on some of the more pressing issues facing the ag industry today. Issues like technology, trade, and arguably the most concerning issue to American Farm Bureau, reform.
You can't go to any Farm Bureau meeting and not realize regulations are just hurting farmers and ranchers on many different levels. We need reform on that issue so that farmers can do what they do best, farm. Farmers can do what they need to do. They don't want to focus on filling out regulatory forms, paperwork, dealing with lawyers and bureaucrats on different levels. They just want to be able to farm and produce. Those are three issues that we want our members to tell their senators, tell their representative, we need your help on these issues. That's why we have 500 people here. They're going to go through advocacy trainings. They're going to get issue briefings on those. They're getting political analysis from political newsmakers here in town. We're giving these 500 people the very best information, the very best training, the very best skills they can be to go out and be the best advocates for Farm Bureau.
Among those political newsmakers mentioned, Georgia U.S. Senator David Perdue, who told the group that in addition to technology, trade, and reform, one of the issues he's most concerned about is the nation's debt crisis.
You know, in Georgia, right now, we don't have a problem. I spoke at the Capitol early this week, and I said, you know, it's glad to be back home where government really works. And there are problems in the State House, but we don't. We have a balanced budget law. We have a line item veto at the governor's level, and we don't have a financial problem. And the state's the #1 state in the country in which to do business. That didn't happen by accident. Agriculture is a big part of that because ag has already demonstrated what we can do in Georgia. It's half of our economy. We've got the ports down there that are great access. We've got 2 great rail lines. We've got great transportation. And we have a young generation coming into the farming business that's terribly encouraging. In other parts of the world, parts of the country, they don't have that. A large part of that responsibility lies in this room.
A statement that American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall would agree with. President Duvall telling the Monitor that American Farm Bureau as a whole needs to get better at communicating with its members on all levels.
Everybody knows that they're a Greene County Farm Bureau member, and then they know they're a member of Georgia Farm Bureau, but they may or may not know that they're American Farm Bureau member. And they have a lack of knowledge or understanding of what, at this level, what we really do for farmers and ranchers across this country. And we've done some branding studies, and it revealed exactly what I heard when I went across this country. You know, it revealed that they don't really understand what American Farm Bureau do. And we got to make sure that we communicate that story back.
It's their responsibility to represent, first of all, represent the Georgia farmers, but also to meet with all the AFBF leaders from across the nation on issues that's affecting different policies that come up. So I think it's very important that they come up here and be part of that. As I met with some of them in their committee meetings on Monday, I was amazed at the conversation that they were having in each committee meeting.
I'm Ray DeLessio for the Georgia Farm Monitor.